Welcome back to Plants Not Plastic. I'm Nikita, and today we are making Portobello Fajitas that are delicious, inexpensive, simple, healthy, whole food, plant-based, low-fat, and oil-free. Fajitas were something I found pretty early into my plant-based journey because they were really easy to throw together, didn't require a ton of prep, cooked up quick, and tasted great with very few ingredients. So hopefully that and the thumbnail were enough of a sell for this one. If not though, these are also a healthy plant-based recipe that's going to cost you less to make, have more fiber, and you'll get to eat more of it for the same number of calories as you would a non-vegan or processed vegan alternative. Before we get started though, if you are not already subscribed and you like this video, click the subscribe button and the bell so you can get notifications whenever I upload a new video. I release new content weekly, would love to have you stick around, and always appreciate your support. You can also connect with me on social media for day-to-day content and subscribe to my blog for recipes right to your inbox. And drop a comment below if you've got a recipe request. I'm always looking for new ideas, and your wish is close to my command as long as it's plant-based and I'm creative enough to pull it off. Also, give this video a like. It does really help. Diving right in, here's everything you'll need to make this recipe. I'll also leave everything in the description box below, along with a link to the blog post with a nutrition label and printable recipe card. For this one, you are pretty much just prepping veggies and throwing them into a pan. In order, you want to slice your onions smallest, then your bell peppers, and last and thickest, you want your portobello mushrooms. If you're not familiar with how to slice onions for fajitas, here is a quick tutorial. Cut off the top of the bulb to give yourself a flat surface, then cut the onion in half. Peel off the skin, then cut off the root before turning the onion lengthwise and slicing thin pieces from end to end. Once you break up these slices, you're gonna have nice, perfect little pieces for fajitas. Also, I'm not an expert chef, but if you want a video on how to properly cut an onion for all types of recipes, let me know in the comments below, because let's be honest, I bet you that there's at least half of you out there who either don't know or think that you know how, but don't. And in my humble opinion, knowing how to dice an onion is one of those skills that's just gonna change your kitchen game. I do have a tutorial for how to cut peppers, but in it, I didn't cover bell peppers, so let's do that here. Because again, I've seen this done brutally wrong too many times. Cut off the top and stem, and then line your knife up and cut around the bell pepper parallel and flush with the skin on the inside. This is going to separate the pit from the flesh of the bell pepper in one whole piece without making a mess and having seeds go everywhere. Then you just cut off the bottom of the pit, pull the stem out of the top, and you are left with the parts you want with as little mess as possible, and you can easily slice it up from here. Last, wash the portobellos, slice off the end of the stems, and then slice them up. Heat a saute pan over medium-high heat, and once it's warmed up, throw in the onions. Keep them moving until they've browned before adding the bell pepper, cooking those for a few more minutes, and then adding the mushrooms. The beauty of fajitas is that they cook fast, and aside from the onions, the other veggies can just be eaten raw, so you're really just heating them up and softening them a little bit. Once you've got everything softened, add your chili powder and pepper and cook for 1 more minute before adding lime juice and tossing the veggies one last time before removing everything from the heat. From here, you're ready to serve it up with some beans and guacamole in a tortilla the traditional way, or just use it over the top of rice for an easy meal, or you could even store it and save it for meal prep. It's not going to be quite as fresh and nice, but it does still taste really good heated up, so you can make it in advance for recipes later in the week. But these fajitas are fresh and flavorful, a great easy summer dish that tastes great and won't heat up your kitchen too much because you will not be cooking for very long. If you want the recipe for my homemade guacamole, you can find that up here, and if you want more delicious summer options, you can check out the full playlist here. And as always, you can head over to the blog for a full recipe card, nutrition label, and some pretty photos. That's it for today, folks. See you next time. Bye.